Hey everybody, good morning. How's everyone feeling this morning? I'm feeling extra sparkly and shimmery this morning, so I'm bringing out all the sparkles this morning because I am so super excited. We have in studio with us this morning a fabulous and amazing celebrity makeup artist, Elise Troop, who's going to be joining us later this hour. We're going to be talking technique. We're going to be talking Pat McGrath glitter. We're going to be talking skincare, film, music video makeup, all kinds of great stuff. So tune in every Wednesday to Style and Empowerment Chat with Lauren Friends on Spiritual Connect Radio. And we're going to get started. Oh, this is our song.
So, this is yours?
No, it's Nitika Hemingway.
Okay.
So she sings it and we co-wrote it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty voice.
Doesn't she? Wait a second. No, it's gonna be. And then there's the caller number if people want to call it. My sister has the same haircut.
Really?
Yeah, it's such a great cut.
I love it. It's versatile.
It really is.
Yeah. At first I thought that short hair wasn't versatile, but I can do a lot with this. I'm gonna let my phone charge. I wanted to know before I.
Now with that, do you plug the
It's a
USB
wireless.
port into that? Like, do you plug the charger? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
So it's like
I
those
thought
little
it's like,
square
why would you
ones.
call it wireless if it has a wire, but
Right.
it's not wired into the phone. You know?
Okay, it's
Yeah.
pseudo wireless.
Yeah.
And then if you want to use this to prop your phone up later, like when you Facebook Live. Oh!
Yeah, that's why I bought that.
Are you fab?
Yeah, I bought that. It's so much easier. My friend.
Did you get that on Spotlight?
This is a stand from like a light for like, you know, any kind of lighting for makeup or anything. But then he just added this, comes with my ring light.
Oh,
And
that's
he
so
just
cool.
added to it so that I can put my phone on. It's too high though.
And good morning. Welcome to this week's edition of Style and Empowerment Chat with Lauren Friends on Spiritual Connect Radio. We are so excited to have everyone with us this morning. So welcome to the show. So I hope everyone had a fabulous weekend. There is so much going on. We had the Olympics and Philly Fashion Week and so much stuff happening. So let's start off by talking about the Olympics. The women just slayed the situation in the Olympics this year. So the U.S. Olympic team was comprised this year of 244 athletes, and the delegation included 135 men and 109 women. And those 109 fierce, fabulous women just brought home 12 of the 23 medals that were won by the U.S. Olympic team. Woo! So this is the first time in 20 years that the USA's women's athletic team won more than the men. Yeah. So we had some girl power happening out there in Korea. So that's very exciting. So now here in Philadelphia, we just wrapped Philadelphia Fashion Week, which happens here in Philadelphia every February and every September after New York Fashion Week. And of course, Philadelphia Fashion Week is founded and produced by Kevin Parker and Carrie Scott. So we went out to cover on Friday and Saturday. So Friday's show, some of the standout designers were a friend of the show and former guest Jenny Lee Moss. Now, of course, Jenny is known for her ethereal style couture. She does all these elaborate headdresses, amazing. She works like with wood and bones and all kinds of interesting things and turns it into fabulous gowns and headdresses. And then I also loved the collection by Love Chili, which showed a lot of bright, bold colors, and it was a mixture of boho chic and Afrocentric style, and there's so many fabulous handbags coming down the runway in their collection. It was all these hobo bags and large leather bags that had 3D flowers appliqued and patchwork, and just you're seeing a lot of texture, and things that catch the eye. And then a friend of the show, Chuck Fernandez, debuted his line Trucking Flywear. Of course, Chuck is a actor, a model. He's a photographer, and he's modeled for Burning Guitars. And now he has his own hat line, and they're really cool. Like, they have this kind of graphic streetwear style with these 3D jaguars and panthers on the forehead part of the hat, and he actually just made a whole line to go along with Black Panther, so that's cool. So his collection had a lot of graffiti inspired streetwear, and some of the standout pieces had some Biggie Smalls imagery and some Barack Obama imagery, and then the models were walking out to one of my favorite P. Diddy, Puffy, Diddy, Brotherly Love, Sean Combs, the artist formerly known as Sean Combs, Big Daddy Puffy, Puff Puff, whatever. His major hits, Bad Boy. So the models were all rocking out down the runway. And then Suede Square showed a really diverse collection. And of course, Suede Square also has a bridge line, Suede Square Kids. And so he was showing a lot of patent leather pants. Yellow was a big color he was showing, and then also mixing yellow and metallic. He was showing a lot of cutout shoulder, bias, one arm covered, different really cool angular things, and he had this fabulous sequin dress that had all these fringes on it, and I'm a girl who loves my sequins, so anything that I see coming down the runway that has crystals and sequins and beads and shimmer, I'm gonna be like, yay! So now on night 2, so Friday was runway 1 and Saturday was runway 2. So our friend Elizabeth Delgado opened the show, and so she was she did not debuting, but she again, just like Suede Square, she does women's couture, but she also does children's couture as well. So this line was all of her children's couture line, and had the fabulous, fierce young girls that were coming down the runway. And it was really cute. She had each of them walk down holding a balloon. And then as they were walking to the Disney song, A Whole New World and A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes. And then at the end, they all, assembled the balloons together. And so Elizabeth, of course, just came out recently in Atlantic City Fashion Week, and alliance with the Dreamer movement, and coming out that she's a child of immigrants, and so that is very brave of her, and so I admire her not only for the beautiful woman she is and our fashion collaboration, but her fierce voice and being a leader in the fashion community. So now, of course, our other friend of the show and creative genius, Conrad Booker, showed on Saturday. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Conrad Booker, of course, he's been on our show twice, and you can go way back on the Style and Empowerment page, and you'll see pictures of us. He brought a lot of his mannequins in studio, and he brought this fabulous, red headdress, and I got the real pleasure of looking inside his journal and his mood boards, and he is an interior designer and architect. He actually has done a lot of the Macy's window installations in Philadelphia, Christmas time, and he is known for being basically a creative artist who makes couture out of unwearable materials. So the way his mind works is just absolutely, I can't say the word amazing enough. He made pants out of shopping bags. He'll make a train or epaulets out of layers of black straws. He'll make a beautiful couture gown out of a shower curtain or a tarp. Where this man, his mind goes, and what things that we might see on the sidewalk, whole piece together and make just such a sensational piece of modern art. And I have to give hats off to his models, because these young ladies, not only did they look fantastic, but they were walking down the runway en masse, covering their whole face. And the shoes, I love Conrad, but I'm like, Conrad, what are you doing to these poor girls? The shoes, he always puts them in, which he usually makes, or reconstructs in some way. There's these skyscraper heels and twisty platforms. He literally gives you art from head to toe. And this collection, he actually had all these unique wigs that were round circles and beads on, and all this different stuff. And then these girls, they had these masks that were covering their whole face, and they weren't translucent. I'm like, how are they walking down and not falling? So these models are fantastic. So he blew us away as usual. And then I also was loving Autumn Lee, who was giving us a lot of pieces that had these really interesting textured epaulets that just went over the shoulder and then kind of around the neck, but then they had tracks of zippers, around the circumference of the epaulette, covering the shoulder. So almost like a little vest, it was really cool. So there's so much great fashion of Philly Fashion Week this year. So hats off to Kevin and Carrie for another fabulous season. And of course, this year marks their 10th season, which is just amazing how how far the brand of Philly Fashion Week has come, how much exposure and opportunity that the Philly Fashion Week has provided the designers, the makeup artists, hairstylists, and there are just so many amazingly talented artists that work behind the scenes. And that's the thing you really have to think whenever you see a movie or a TV show or a runway show. There is an army of creatives behind the scenes waving their magic and talent to put that person looking in a certain way to express that artistic medium. Because none of us walk out the door and wake up and roll out of bed beat to the gods and with fabulous hair, okay? So we have to applaud all of our talented fairies and godmothers behind the scenes. So now we just wrapped up a New York Fashion Week as well. So this morning, we're going to weigh in and give the report card, the scorecard on the diversity stats that were coming down the runway this season at New York Fashion Week. Some were good and some were rather disappointing. So this season's spring 2008 shows were the most racially diverse in New York Fashion Week history. Which is,
18.
Yeah, 18. Did I say 8? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we just stepped back in the future. Yes, I didn't have my espresso yet. So yes, 2018 as opposed to 8. Like, I don't know what we were doing in 2008. We probably weren't looking as good as we are this morning in 2018. So, the spring 2018 shows were the most racially diverse in New York Fashion Week history, which is great. Models of color accounted for 36.9% of the runways, but this season only saw a 0.4% increase in non-white models. So it should be noted, though, that the fall 2008 season included significantly less shows and presentations in New York because many designers are deciding to go overseas to Paris and France. Now, on the plus size note, last season we were all excited because, not that you should be excited for only 3% representation when 62% of the average American woman is a size 16 or above. But this season it was pitifully lower. So we only saw 26 plus size models walk in only 8 New York Fashion Week shows, which is appalling. And that accounts just for 1.1% of the total of models that walked in New York Fashion Week. So, of course, leading the way, as per usual, is Christian Siriano, who showed 10 plus-size models in his 10th anniversary show. So we also had Chromat, which showed 9 plus-size models. But Michael Kors and Purple Garung, they only cast 1 plus-size model. And guess who was? Ashley Graham. Which, that's great, but throwing one high-profile model in as a token is not diversity. That's just saying you're trying to be politically correct. That's not inclusion, that's not diversity. Plus, Ashley Graham is not the only plus-size model on the planet. And she is not the only high-profile plus-size model on the planet. And if we're going to look at this from another direction, Ashley Graham became, the it girl once she went down to about a size 10. But when she was a size 16, 18, she wasn't as high in demand. But you have other top tier plus size models like Larissa Cross, who is like a meaty size 18, and other models like the like. But because she's the it girl of the moment, they're not included as well. So I think that when we're gonna be talking about empowerment.
Wait a minute, 10 is plus size.
Oh yeah, yes. Well, I know it's hysterical that the industry actually considers a size 8 plus size. Now, we've talked about this hot topic before. If you go shopping, in the stores, you have a Mrs. 14 and a Mrs. 16, which is cut a little smaller. Mm-hmm. Then, in the women's or the plus size department, you have a woman's 14, 16, and up. So generally, so far as sales, plus size starts at a 14, maybe a 12, okay? 10, you go over to the Mrs. department, there's your 8, there's your 10. But in the modeling industry, in the fashion industry, they consider size 8 plus. So then you have women who are like, say, 6 and 8, and they're in that gray area. And rather than just say, hey, let's just include everybody, because, we have to be all about grouping and labeling and segmenting, then these models who size-wise are in the middle of both categories, they say, oh, you're plus size. Yeah. So then when you get designers who really aren't behind body positivity, but just want to appear to be, in line with the curve, so to speak, they'll go for that smaller plus size model, like an Ashley Graham or a Cynthia Bailey, who a couple years ago, she had some health problems and like fibroid tumors, and she was bloated, and her weight went up. She normally, I guess, is like a size 4. So she went up to a size 8, and she's still thin, right? And she was modeling for Romans, which, for those of you who don't know, you don't need to know Romans, but they're this ugly, grandmother Miss Roper, plus size mail order catalog here in the States. That's like the stuff that if it shows on your door, you throw it out. Level up, Romans, level up. So she was modeling for them, and she was marketing herself as a plus size model. Oh, which is crazy. But, you can't say that we're representing all women and then you're only having one model, or you're only having like 12 and that's it. So now in transgendered casting, that actually increased. So 33 transgendered women and non-binary models walked in 23 shows, which was an increase from spring 2018's 31 trans models. So brands like Carolina Herrera, Oscar de la Renta, Alexander Wang, Marc Jacobs, all cast transgendered models down the runway, which is awesome. But in a time that's like supposed to be championing female empowerment, it doesn't really seem like these designers, despite what they might put in their marketing, are really standing behind the platform of empowering women and giving all women visual to see themselves and relate to what's coming down the runway, that whatever shape, color, age, size they are, that there's someone like them walking for them. When we still have to talk about and report the stats, we really are not where we need to be. So, and it's also frustrating when you see an improvement one year in one category, but then they dip right back the next season. So it's not just about one show, one season. It's about making a commitment ongoing from your brand and the shows you put on that you will continuously cast a diversity in age, size, race, and gender. So, on that note, we're going to take a quick musical break, and then we're going to be back, and we're going to talk all about some things Jennifer Lawrence and Michelle Obama have going on. Ooh, what's the tea there? So keep it locked in to Style and Empowerment Chat with Laura and friends on Spiritual Connect and London Energy Radios, and we'll be right back after a little LaRue Bulletproof.
When they do that, like the one season, that's like a trend.
Oh, totally. No, it's a cop-out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is what's hot for the moment. This is what people are going about. Okay, let me just put a splash of some.
They'll do a season of Asian models, and you'll see Asian models everywhere.
Right.
Or you'll see a season of, African-American models or African models. And it's just like...
And
let's see it consistently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what I loved this season too, I was seeing a lot of diversity in Philly Fashion Week. They had, they usually cast a cross section of albino models, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But I was seeing a lot of models who had, what's that? Is it called
vitiligo?
Vitiligo, that's it. Yes. There were, I want to say, 4 models with vitiligo.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
And CoverGirl has one.
Yes, and CoverGirl has one as well.
Yeah. I noticed. Who else was on CoverGirl? I can't think of who it was. CoverGirl's really starting to embrace diversity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, CoverGirl actually has a transgendered male.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, as one of their brand ambassadors for the mascara. I forget which one it is, but it's.
I know his face. I just can't think of his name. Yeah. And he was like big on social media. Social media's taken over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something else I want to talk about. You know, all these, quote, self-taught makeup artists on YouTube who, are charging, and they didn't go to school and get any credentials.
Yeah. I'm self-taught.
Right.
But, I just think that it takes... if you do your research, it's fine.
Exactly, right.
Is fine,
but some of them,
some
haven't.
Some of them are just winging it.
Exactly.
They're doing more trendy stuff than things that will last. For instance, I'm more of a classic type of makeup artist. I like classic looks. I don't like looks that date me per se myself. When I take pictures and stuff, I try to do something very, very classic. That's why I'm known for this smoky eye, because it'll never go out of style. Never.
No.
It's something that will never go out.
A cat eye and a smoky eye never go out of style.
And people, a lot of people are so into the trends as far as the highlighter from the gods. It's just when you do photography, that highlight is going to bounce off of that camera and that light, and it's going to look terrible. So they have to know the difference between, social media makeup and makeup for real life. You can't walk down the street with that stuff.
See, one of the best things about running your own show is you always get to hear things you love.
Yeah.
So you're going to hear music every day that's your favorite, that you love.
Yeah, you don't have to be okay, I'm turn,
Right.
Turn the channel, the station, you just play it yourself.
And then I always do a broad mix, stuff. And then sometimes if I'm doing a tribute to a particular artist or something, I just curate a playlist, all of their stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that's awesome about not having to deal with a program director. Because some stations, like, they have program directors, and you can still curate your music. But others, like, for instance, Power 99, Cap Cappuccino said, like, oh, she doesn't pick her own music. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And she doesn't really pick her guests too. Everything goes to the program. I'm like, oh my God, not like I couldn't, because like my show is from every angle. It's an extension of me, my vision, you know, my passions, the people I'm passionate about, the messages I want to get out. And I'm like, what? Somebody's basically doing your show for you? What? No, I can't. Like, I couldn't.
It's the same with like being a freelance makeup artist. Like, I don't, you know, I get to choose my clients as opposed to working in a store and I have to deal with everybody coming in, or doing the look of that collection for that month, or you know, what have you. As opposed to when I book models, I can do usually looks that I want to do, or you know, book the models I want to do. So. I like the freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like it. But the reason why I decided to do Pat McGrath was I did want to get that experience as well as working in the store. So working in Sephora, they're really nice. They're really nice.
And she's such a booming brand right now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's gorgeous. Oh my God.
I'm like, give me all the glitter in the world.
Just glitter your life,
right?
Yeah, I love how she makes
paint me in glitter.
Yeah, she makes everything so sparkly, like with the sequins everywhere. And like when
it's a beautiful, sparkly world.
Yeah, like when we come to Sephora, they bring sequins.
Oh,
like my
wow!
supervisor brings sequins, and we have to put sequins like down, on, you know, under the makeup and everything. Like it's so serious.
That's awesome.
She's like so luxurious and fab. It definitely goes with her brand though, and what she's known for. You know, all of the designers that she works with in Europe. It's just, ugh. If I ever get over there, I'm gonna pass out. I was actually invited to go to Paris Fashion Week this year.
Oh wow!
But it was like 2 days before.
Oh jeez.
No, I can't get a ticket.
Right?
Are you paying for this?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're paying for it.
Sure, we'd all like to go, but if I have to pay for it, maybe next season.
I would have loved it. I would have loved it. But yeah.
I can come back up after this. So then the show will repeat Friday morning on the London station at 8 a.m. to 10.
Yeah.
And then I make a separate flyer, you know.
Okay, for that. Okay.
Yeah. And then I've been saving. The cool thing, though, about Instagram is you can save your Instagram videos.
Okay.
So when Facebook unblocks me, then I can put them all up.
Yeah.
But in the interim, I could send them to you as well.
So I'm questioning if I go live. Will I get live?
I don't think you would. Well, then you could just go live during the talk segments. Right?
Yeah, but I would have to like stop it, start it up again. You know what I mean?
Or you can just run it and then
I can record it as a video.
That's true.
But it wouldn't be live.
Right. You know, but I think since it's not something you normally do too much, I think you'd be okay.
They get me every time.
Do they? And it's like, even if you say, oh, I don't own this music, then they're still all up in your grill.
Yep. They get me every time. And then I lose the footage, and I hate that.
Right. And welcome back to Style and Empowerment Chat with Lauren Friends on Spiritual Connect and London Energy Radio. We're just in the happy pocket with Kylie Minogue. So now let's talk about what Jennifer Lawrence is going to be doing for the next year. And it's not going to be acting. No. So apparently, Jennifer Lawrence just announced that she's taking a year off from acting roles to focus on activism. So the Hollywood Reporter just revealed that Lawrence is working on a new documentary series about the Me Too and Time's Up movements. And she is partnering with Kat Sadler, who of course was one of the main anchors on the E! Network for many years. And she recently resigned from the network when she found out that her co-anchor, Jason Kennedy, was making substantially more than she was. So Lawrence said that their show is going to be focused on the importance of gender equality and narrowing the wage gap, and then all the different issues that are going on in Hollywood right now. So that'll be interesting. So now, speaking of interesting, former First Lady Michelle Obama is going to be releasing her memoir in November. So I am super excited about that. Of course, I love all things Michelle Obama. So, I will be going out to pick that up. So the book will be released simultaneously in 24 languages worldwide. And so the former First Lady is scheduled to embark on a U.S. and international book tour with dates that'll soon be announced. And as she said, that the book is going to be an intimate reckoning of her rise into politics, and it'll be deeply personal and talk about her and her roots and how a girl from the South Side found her voice. And she hopes her journey inspires readers to find the courage to become whoever they aspire to be. And she can't wait to share her story with us. And we, of course, cannot wait to read it. And, anything Michelle Obama has to say will be prolific and inspiring and impactful. So we're going to take a brief musical break, and we'll be back shortly with our featured guest, a celebrity makeup artist and fabulous fashionista, Elise Troop, and she's going to be talking to us all about diversity in the beauty world, a lot of how-tos, how to pick the right brushes, foundation, lips, primers, and all kinds of great tips and industry know-how. So keep it locked in to Style and Empowerment Chat with Laura and Friends on Spiritual Connect Radio and London Energy Radio. And for my listeners listening to me this morning on Spiritual Connect Radio, you can call in with your questions at 215-782-8464. So we're leading you off in this next break with one of my favorites from Craig David, Insomnia. So we'll be right back after this musical break.
Thank you, guys. You said you look pretty.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hey.
That's another one of my partners in crime, Clint Brock. He's a makeup artist. He's working. He's from Philly, but he works in New York, like basically Monday through Friday, and then he comes home the weekend. And he's on my makeup team. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
So you can follow me on Instagram at SRPKLDiva and the Style and Empowerment Chat with Laura and Friends Facebook page. And of course, Facebook, Laura Mazurek. It's okay. Instagram, it's at SRPKLDiva. The regular spelling was taken, so I had to flip it around.
Go ahead and follow her. didn't know Philly fashion was great.
Yo, it was amazing.
I just slap myself when I go. Next year. I love a huge runway.
Yes.
I love it.
And then when we going into our next break, like when we come up in a few minutes, and then we'll talk. We'll take a. We'll come up at like 10:45. It's 10:39 now, and then we'll go straight through to about like 11:10 or so. Then I'll take another 10-minute music break or so, and then we'll go through. So after we finish our first talk segment, and I'm leading into that next musical break, I'll play the Jaguar song.
Okay.
And then
great.
we'll tie it in.
That's good. So this is already on.
Yeah, not yet. So let me. Yeah, let me.
As long as
turn.
I don't have to do anything.
Oh no. Okay. All right, but you're on now,
I
and
need to
then.
get that. But you're holding.
Oh
to the
yeah,
phone.
these things are awesome.
Yeah, where'd you get it from?
I got it at Five Below. Yeah,
I'm
it's
getting
awesome.
it when I leave
Yeah,
here.
yes. Oh my
Below.
God, it's like a new lease on life. And look, you can pivot it. And then the other thing I use it for when I go to take photos.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I don't have someone out,
You can just hold
like
it.
I'll stretch it up,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you got to be resourceful with
Yeah.
this business.
I mean, I will get a few of those things.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
I could probably use one for my car, one for my home.
Yeah, I'm trying
yeah.
to figure out how to do what you use for your car.
Yeah.
It's probably some kind of clamp or magnetic thing.
Yeah.
Because I see people doing like lives and stuff from their car.
I kind of prop it up there because of the way my dash is, but I have at the T-Mobile store. There's something that you can use to put it in, but it's a little expensive. I was trying to find something less expensive. He said Five Below.
You get in them both.
He said yes, Five Below.
Yeah.
Clint's on it. He'll be there today too.
Yes. He's like, I'm gonna get a whole case.
Yeah. My cheeks are so. He said, "Yo, be there today."
I'll be there with a crate.
Thank you guys.
And they come in different colors too.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have mine in black, to match the studio.
Professional,
right? But
yeah.
they have them in like pink and red, and right.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Hi, Aisa, a great makeup artist. I love the mics. It's so dramatic. I can't wait to take a picture like this.
Right. Yeah.
It's so cute.
Right.
He says I'm about to be broke. I love colors.
See, did I just start a new addiction?
Yeah, these people love to buy stuff on here.
Okay, we're gonna come up in 2 minutes. And then can you adjust your mic? Hey everybody. See, now this is before Elise.
Impulse Buyers Club.
Yes, see, this is before Elise Beat. She's gonna do some after show beat and transformation.
I can't wait.
So when you talk, just be about like this far from the mic. Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah, a little closer. There you go. Yeah, well, not like you're singing to her, but that's perfect. And to all the girls I love.
I can't remember how we had the mics. It was long ago. A long time ago.
I'm going to come back out now.
Okay, I can't answer you guys when she's asking me questions.
Yeah,
so
sorry,
you
guys.
I might turn the comments off so I can't see what you
You
guys
get
are talking about
distracted.
because they're going to make me laugh. I know they're going to make me laugh.
Oh, see, we got distracted already. Sorry, everybody. So welcome back to Style and Empowerment Chat with Lauren Friends on Spiritual Connect and London Energy Radio. So I am so excited to welcome to the show amazing makeup goddess and so talented, fabulous makeup artist, Elise Troop.
You're too kind. Thank you.
And the glam crowd goes wild. Woo!
Thank you.
So, you know, I'm like a girl in Utopia this morning because we're going to talk all about sparkle and makeup and everything girly.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes. Yes.
So, Elise, tell our listeners how you got started in the makeup industry.
Oh my goodness. It kind of just starts with like doing a friend's makeup here or there, a family member's makeup doing here or there, a play, a prom, a wedding. And I just fell in love with makeup at a very early age. And I started playing with it. And then my friend Jaguar Wright, she said, hey, let's do a show. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So I started doing her makeup, and that's when I really became like an official makeup artist, So I love it.
Oh, that's exciting. So now you are the owner of Elise Troop Beauty.
Yes.
So tell us all about that and how it came into existence.
Okay, so it was like one of those things like I was looking online, and the Art Institute of Philadelphia said they were having a student fashion show. And I contacted them and I said, hey, do you need makeup artists for the show? They said, well, we do, but we need more than just you. Can you come up with a team? And I'm like, I don't know if I can come up with a team like this quick, And they're like, well, if you do, then contact us and we'll be sure to do it. And I put out a post and so many people responded. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to go through these artists to make sure, they're up to par, because fashion shows are high, like it's high fashion,
yes.
It's drama, you have to be quick, you can't take an hour to do makeup for a fashion show.
And you have to be impervious to a lot of stress and drama and personalities. You have to know the products
and different skin tones and all of that. You don't know who you're going to have, so you have to know how to do different skin tones and skin types. And I came up with 10 makeup artists, and that's how it came about. And I thought after the show we would just dissolve, but we kept going.
You kept rocking.
Yeah, we kept rocking. Yeah,
I'm beating some faces.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you have done makeup for photo shoots, music video, film, runway, print. So let's kind of go into each realm and talk about the differences and demands on a makeup artist and technique you bring, say, to a music video versus a photo shoot, versus a wedding. So let's just dive right in.
Yeah, well, makeup for photography is different from makeup for just say everyday life, because you have to think about the lighting that the photographer is using. You have to think about the type of finishes that you're using, because they're bouncing off of light and things like that. Also, the pigmentation of your foundation. Now, I might get a little bit technical. If I am, let me know.
Go in. That, like we want the technical.
How pigmented the foundation looks on your face. Like, for instance,
now for people who don't know, what is pigmentation?
It's the boldness of the color, how it shows. Okay. So, sheer foundation will be the opposite of a very pigmented foundation.
Okay, so
you know?
translucent.
So it's full coverage.
Gotcha.
You know, you might want sheer foundation for everyday makeup, or for photography, unless you're doing like that type of photography where you want it to look like no makeup or something like that, or if you want it to be like a raw image, like say a journal photographer, like, you know,
something a little more
that's
gritty.
different. Yeah, gritty. But you want full coverage, and even if you want the makeup to look natural, you have to stack it on.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
it takes people, but that's also a credit to talent and ingenuity. But when you see these no makeup looks, it's a ton of makeup. Yeah.
And a lot of people, they put celebrities on this pedestal because they think they woke up like that. And
No.
They didn't. They have a lot of makeup.
Who was that celebrity recently? I forget, this past year, who came out saying that they weren't going to wear... Oh,
Alicia Keys.
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alicia.
Yeah.
We're going to step into the shade room for a minute.
Oh, no.
Alicia... First,
I think she's beautiful.
No, that's not on the table. She's gorgeous. She's stunning. She's fat.
Shade.
But if we're gonna say, "Oh, I'm going makeup free to empower women and all this stuff," first of all, when you're already starting out flawless, hello, like
she's beautiful,
right?
Yeah.
But secondly, I saw her on more than one appearance where she was, quote, rocking the no makeup and telling like people to take their makeup off and all this stuff. And you could see she had light matte lipstick on.
Okay.
And she had foundation on. As she's saying, now there's a difference between light makeup or natural makeup and no makeup.
And also, I think a lot of people confuse colors with having a lot of makeup on, as opposed to having a nude lip, which is just as wearing a red lip, but it looks nude.
Right.
So, I think a lot of people confuse that.
So, I mean, that's great and all, but if you're going to market this whole, I'm empowering and all this stuff, and be your natural self, well, you're coming outside of the house with makeup on, telling people you're not wearing makeup, I feel is...
I think the freedom to choose is probably the best way to express it. Just choose what you want. Choose what you're comfortable with.
Exactly.
Choose what you like. And that's empowering.
Yes,
to
it
just
is.
Be able to choose.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So now we're talking a bit about, you were mentioning the nude lip and foundation. So first of all, let's talk about the differences between, you see translucent, you see matte, liquid, mineral base. So let's talk about, because the first thing you put on is your foundation. So what are the different types, why you choose those different types, and how you know you're choosing the right foundation for you?
For me personally, or for a client?
Well, in client, like if we're going out and we're shopping and I want to get, how do I know what type to choose, what the differences are, and when I found the right foundation for me? Right.
Well, you should know your skin type. So there's different foundations that are better for different skin types. So you should know whether you have dry skin, if you have oily skin, if you have combination skin, and so that helps at least a person who's, if they're helping you in a store, to know what might be the best makeup for you, or in powder, because you want to set your makeup with a powder. So there's I think the average woman uses liquid foundation. It's very sheer, it feels light, so you don't want to feel heavy when you're walking down the street going about your day. So and then there's levels to the liquid foundation. So you'll have sheer foundation where it barely looks like nothing, or you'll have foundation that's buildable, which means you can make it as light or as full coverage as you want. And the liquid, it's just a different finish. It dries matte mostly, and then you may have a matte foundation that's, you can't make it not matte. It's a matte. It's gonna be dry.
And that's that creamier denser foundation.
Yeah. You have cream foundation, which is I have cream in palettes, but I don't have it in like a squeezy tube or anything like that. But I have AJ Crimson here, which
and for my viewers here, let me I'm gonna pan. Elise has a makeup case here that is phenomenal.
So these are the AJ Crimson colors, and it's a wide range. AJ Crimson is a celebrity makeup artist who started his own line, and he's done everybody, everybody there is to do. He started his own line, which is one of my goals, to start my line. And then they have like RCMA foundation. So RCMA is the Research Council for Makeup Artists, and it started in like the 60s for TV and film. Okay. So most of like the TV film artists use RCMA, which is a really good one. And then I have like Anastasia Beverly Hills foundations and concealers. They're just all like, I love cream, because if you want to share out cream, you just add moisturizer.
Oh.
Yeah, you just add moisturizer. So it's really good. And as far as color matching, what you do is you look at the cheek. And some people do this differently, but I look at the cheek and I match to the cheek. I'll take like the 3 foundations that I think are closest to my skin. The one that camouflages totally, that's your shade. So if you might have one that might be too cold, which means it looks too it'll make you look like a ghost. You don't want that one. Or one that might be too dark. You want the one
orange.
Yeah, or too orange. And undertones are, another thing as well. Like if you have a pink undertone, a salmon undertone, or a yellow undertone or red undertone, you have to understand your undertone. If you don't, get an expert to teach you so that you know how to do it yourself. Because what you don't want to do is be too trusting of other people, because everyone in a store may not be as educated, and
they're just after the sale.
Yeah, they're just after the sale. So make sure you know how to match yourself. So even if no one's there, you can pick up your own foundation.
And sometimes, depending, because all of us, we're not all one skin tone throughout our whole face. Like you have redness, or sometimes you might have more vein presence around your eyes. Yeah. So you'll actually use a mixture of foundation colors in different parts of the face. Yeah,
I do. I use 2. Yeah. So I highlight and contour, and because I have hyperpigmentation, which is very, very common in African American women to have hyperpigmentation. So it's like darker tones in the face, usually around the outer portion of the face. But sometimes they can be, anywhere. Some people have it under their eyes, like dark circles under their eyes. I don't really have that much of an issue, but that's also an issue for a lot of women. Yeah.
Yes, I know, we just love our circles.
Yeah, we have so many issues.
You're right. Hello. So now, of course, one of the most important steps when you're doing your face is having the right makeup brushes. Yes. Right? And it's a whole, language, and can be intimidating when you're trying to make that jump from just the applicators that come with your makeup. Yeah. To taking your face up to that more professional level. Yeah. So you brought with you a whole bunch of different types of brushes.
I did.
Yes. So can you kind of walk us through when for the woman doing her basic face? Yeah, her basic face. What the different types of brushes she should have, and what each of them are used for, and how you use them.
Okay, so I have a collaboration of brushes here. I say this one is a nice fluffy brush. This is a Makeup Forever brush, the number 140. I don't want to get too technical for people who are not really into makeup, but a fluffy brush is really good for applying makeup all over your eyelid. Okay. So when you put down your eyeshadow, first of all, you should have a primer, eyeshadow primer. Okay. So for people who, I know when I started out makeup, I didn't know this. I was wondering why my eyeshadow wouldn't last all day, and it would fall off. on top of me having hooded lids, which means my skin kind of protrudes over my lid, it will fall right off. And because it didn't have anything to adhere to. Okay. So if you get like a primer, just like when you paint the wall, you prime the wall first and then you paint it. It's the same thing for your face. So if you think of it that way, it's not, you know, it's not like, oh my God, I'm putting all this stuff on my face. And it's just a little layer, a thin layer you put on. I prefer like Too Faced Shadow Insurance. There's so many different kinds, but it doesn't matter about the brand because everybody's skin is different. You want what works best for you. Okay. So I try not to like primer. Sell the brand. It's more about like what, you know, what works best for you. And then after you put the primer on, you put your base eyeshadow and you just apply it all over your eye with a windshield wiper motion.